baby David. That little bitty boy. When I look at that picture, I see something that's beautiful, don't you?
Grab my arms like this. Slow.
Okay, that was a question. God, every time I look at that, I'm like, he was so fine. Okay. Oh. I had to post it, guys. An odd crew. A very odd crew. I posted this because, to be honest with you, this was the establishment of who I was. If you look around, you'll see all of my sisters. I have a few brothers and sisters, and a sister that wasn't there that day. We won't say why. But you look around, you'll see the foundation of family. Innocence. He's not fast forwarding. I see him 27 times. Innocence. Nothing wrong. When you're born into this world, you're born with two fears. The fear of falling and the fear of loud noises. At that age, who's thinking about bills? At that age, who's thinking about when I come into your presence, I'm going to feel somewhat like I can't fit in? Who's thinking about that at that point? Things are collected over time. When you look at that boy with that smile on his face, you don't see the things that can be going on the inside. Go back. I wrote this book because when dealing with low self-esteem, we're dealing with situations. It's as if you collect over the years information and stuff within your heart. The question will be asked one time, I actually took this lady out on a date. We was out on a date and we enjoyed ourselves. We had fun. And the thing about it was that at the end of the day, I got a phone call on my way home. She's like, how did you like it? I'm like, I loved it. And I said, how did you like it? She's like, I loved it. She said, you know what? I'm going to be honest with you. I want to move into something. I want to develop something. I want a husband one day. I want to be in this and I want to be in that. And I cringed. Stop. You're moving way too fast. And one particular day I began to drive. And as I began to drive, I seen this hotel and the hotel sign said, rooms available. Rooms available. And I started to look at the sign and start to wonder exactly, why is that dealing with me? Why can't I let somebody into my life? Why can't I move into a better situation? I'm no longer with my wife. I mean, why can't I move on? And then I start to realize it's because you don't have any availability in that room.
All right.
The room is cluttered. The room is jam-packed. And it's not the fact that people are in the room, it's just the fact that people have came into your life and left things in that particular room. And it's something about, if anybody knows electricity, anybody familiar with how you look at a meter outside? The thing about it is your electrical meter just continues to run, it continues to run, it continues to run. Do you know why? It runs because things are still yet plugged in. And it's funny because you can go and you can start turning everything off, but as long as it's plugged in, the meter is still running. And it's not the fact that stuff is yet not on. It's not the fact that people are yet still there. It's the fact that things are plugged in and pulling power from us, draining us from situations. It can be a bad breakup. It can be going all the way back to somebody being hurt when they was a child. It can go all the way back to somebody being molested as a child. Stuff be collected and gathered and held situation when your car is dirty and you ask somebody to ride with you? Isn't it weird? Your car is just a filthy mess. And you say, hey, come get in this car with me. Hey, come join me. Come get in the car with me. And they get in the car and they moving stuff around and trying. Anybody know? Yes. Come join me. Get in the car with me. Come on. And you got papers all on the floor. And you got bottles everywhere. And you got things everywhere. And it's funny because you're asking them to ride, but yet you want them to be comfortable in your car. That's exactly how we do things when it comes down to even our relationships with friends, fathers, mothers, sisters, brothers. We hold on to stuff. That could have been somebody that left you. There could have been somebody that hurt you. Could have been a father, could have been a mother, could have been a sister, could have been a brother, could have been somebody in your school, could have been somebody in your past, could have been an uncle, could have been a friend of a father, could have been somebody, but whoever it was, they left something in your room. They left something in that car, and you're asking people to come into your life. How dare you? How dare you ask somebody to join your life when you know it's making them uncomfortable? How dare you ask anybody to come into your life, come into my heart, and then you make them feel so uncomfortable. They pushing stuff away, they pushing stuff to the side, and you getting offended now, saying, hey, it's just a bottle. Hey, it's just untrust. Hey, it's just that I'm jealous. Hey, it's just that I'm this or I'm that. How dare you ask somebody to come into your life when you are jam full, packed in the room? Love Available is simply a message to help you start to clean up the room. Love Available is simply a message to help you start to clean up your car. Yeah, all right. Love Available is simply a message to help you clean up your heart. Because it's jam-packed full of stuff. Stuff that hurts. We doing transitions? Oh, it's because I'm sweating. Thank you. I tell you, they're the best kids in the world. You don't get no better than them. This message is simply to start cleaning. Amen. To start looking at the things that hold you back. To start looking at the things that hinders you. To start walking in and start looking at it. That's the first thing it hurts, when we start looking at the things. And recognizing certain situations are the best things in our lives. You ask you, how come I can't find a man? How come I can't find a good woman? It's not that you can't find that. It's the fact that what you want them to do, you can't even do for yourself.
You better say that.
You want them to love you. You want them to care for you. You want them to like you. You want them to love everything about you, and you don't.
See that?
You want them to like the way I walk, but yet you don't like it. You want them to like the way you talk, but yet you don't like it. You want them to like the way you live, but yet you don't like it. But yet you want them to do everything you can't do for your own self. Love Available is simply loving the one you with.
That's right.
Loving the one you with. I hated me. I know nobody ever did that before, but I hated it. I hated everything about me. I hated my life. I hated my weight. I know I'm using that grammar, but I hated my eyes, and I hated my nose, and I hated everything that I could look at and find. I looked at it and I said, oh, that's disgusting. And I knew when I wrote this book, and I didn't write the book like that. I simply began to write simply because I needed to relieve the pain.
My God.
How many here know that it's time to start cleaning up?
Yes. Yes.
We know it's time. We know there's things that's there that has hindered us. We know there's things that's there that has stopped us. We want to blame it on everybody else. This is what my mama did. This is what my daddy did. This is what this one did. This is what that one did. But here's where we are right now. It's what you're doing. I need everybody, where you sit, to clutch your hand. Just one. Notice I haven't asked you to speak to your neighbor. It's not that hard. It's just your fist. Everybody clutch their hand. Everybody imagine for just a second. You guys got this? Just imagine for a second that you're holding a sponge. Imagine that you guys are holding a sponge in your hand. Just everybody, just imagine you're holding a sponge in your hand. You got it? Say yes when you got it. Yes. Now imagine that sponge full of needles.
Jesus.
Now squeeze. Come on, I need you to imagine this. I need you to imagine the pain that you will be going through. I need you just to see it for just a second. Imagine the pain that you will be going through by clutching this sponge with needles. Just for a second, just imagine it, please. How much pain is that? Make you want to scream, right? Now imagine you holding on to that person. Imagine holding on to that hurt. Imagine holding on to that pain that person left in your life. This is why I don't trust men. This is why I can't marry no woman. This is why I can't do this. This is why I can't do that. This is why I can't walk there. This is why I can't walk here. This is why I can't do this. This is why I won't go there. This is why I don't talk to them. And this is why they can't talk to me. This is why they don't hear me. This is why they don't sing. I don't talk to them and I don't call them. Imagine you holding this situation. And that's exactly what you're doing. You're holding on to the pain. How does it feel to walk around and when that person walks in the room, you walk out? How does it feel when you don't want to deal with that situation in your life? How does it feel? It hurts. It hurts. It hurts. And here is the situation. You got it. And it doesn't have you. You have the power at that moment to let it go.
You better breathe.
But you walk around with it. You hold on to it. You hold on to it. And you can never be love available. You can never be available to love. You can never be able to trust. You can never be able to have joy. True joy. True joy. True joy. Because of what I'm holding on to. So I need everybody to understand one thing. Ask yourself a question. How long will you hold on to it? How long will you allow it to consider and continue to cancel? How long would you allow this thing to continue to hurt? And you carry it around for the rest of your life. You have determined, I am going to carry this until I die. But here's the problem, you're already dead by holding on to it.
My God. Jesus.
You can let it go. Everybody in here has the power to let it go. Everybody in here has the power to let it go. I felt, even as a musician, I could never make it. And for the past 5 years, my life has totally changed. I began to forgive. I began to do the one thing that it was so hard for me to do. Forgive. Let it go. Let it go. To this day, go ahead. I've done things that I never knew I could do. I've been places that I never knew I could be. I have a family that loves me. It doesn't make a difference what you say about you. It makes a difference what God says. All I'm asking